Hold on, let's make sure it all looks good. Hello, friends. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's too high. Is that too high? Oh, no, I'm too short. Hold on. That good? Nebby, is that good? She's ignoring me. Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen. Nice to meet you. Hold on, I'm getting the chat picked up. Just real quick so I can see what you guys have to say. So hold on. Let me just... Work. Gotta make it work. Oh, she perked up at that. Didn't you, Nebby? You're like, what? What's that? Is that Rihanna? Is that Rihanna? We got a pupper, so she's adorable. Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen. Here for a cute little Q&A today. Cute little Q&A? Who am I? Anyways, if you don't know who I am, hi, I'm Kristen. I am like the person behind everything here at Ghoulish Threads. Just kind of doing a quick Q&A today. I had a lot of questions about Patreon, and my Patreon trailer's kind of dated because things have changed. So it really doesn't do a good job of explaining a lot of like, what will you find here, blah, 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 blah. So I thought I would come here, do a Q&A, and then answer questions that I've gotten. I have a whole list, and this, as well as answer questions that you have as a live stream is going on. So bear with me, it's gonna be fun, at least I hope so, and entertaining, we will see. Maybe the dog will get interested in what I'm doing. No, she's asleep, she does not care one bit, one smackaroo. Okay, cool. Hi, Embroidery Art by Nat. It is me. I think this is my first live stream that I'm making public on my YouTube channel. That's a first. Usually all of my live streams are unlisted and are available for patrons only. But yeah, so if you're here and watching, thank you. You are probably either a patron or you have a link that you've found, clicked, gotten here. So real quick, what Patreon is, what I do here. So if you know what Patreon is, you know that it is a way for you to support your favorite artists while getting fun little perks as well. You know, some artists just be like, hey, support me, and I'll give you, you know, behind the scenes looks. With my Patreon, what you get is you can get community, you get patterns, you can have coaching sessions with me, all types of fun stuff. Basically, it also gives you access to like talk to me at any time about anything, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so before I start talking too much and don't cover the questions, because the questions do cover a lot of this information. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do that because I feel like I'm gonna get distracted too easily. My kids are gone. I gotta pick up my son in about 2 hours because his first day of kindergarten's today, but it's a half day. So I don't have much time today, but coming in the future, I'm gonna have a lot more time during the day to do fun things like this. So I'm excited. Okay, so let's answer question number 1. And you can leave questions in the, here? Oh, it's mirrored. You can leave questions over here if you want, as I'm going, and I can also answer them as well. Okay, cool. All right, first question, how did you get so cool? Well, I wanted questions about like my work and my process, but you know, okay. Lot of therapy and meds and support from people who care about me. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be here at all periods, so that's good, right? Okay, cool. Question 1 is done. We're moving along. Okay, number 2, what is your education / non-embroidery background? That's a good question to ask. I guess not a lot of people know my story, technically, so I guess I could share that now. I have my degree focus is in English and theater performance. I had a goal of going to grad school for theater to hopefully one day become a theater professor. Well, what happened with that is I got pregnant, and so, you know, things change, and so I became a stay-at-home mom at the age of 23 when my daughter was born, and about 2 years of doing, like, I had like 6 months of that before I was able to find a job as a copy editor in Chicago, because we were living in Chicago at the time. So I was in Chicago, got a job as a copy editor, that was going great because I could work from home. And the only issue with that was obviously it's hard to work when you have a newborn. So I basically just like knew what I had to do every day and just did my best to like throw it in there when she was napping or whatever. That ended. I lost my job, that job, 2 weeks before my wedding. I know. And so that obviously set me down a big depression spiral, anxiety going through the roof. I mean, you're having a wedding. How are you going to pay for the wedding? So I just like, I'm just going to do the wedding, see what happens. And then when that's done, I'll start looking for a job again, whatever. Well, luck would have it, a friend gave me a finished embroidery piece as a gift. And I saw it and I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to hang that on my wall, blah, blah, blah. Went back to Chicago because our wedding was down here where I live now in St. Louis. I get back to Chicago, couldn't find a job. Obviously, this was like 2012, early 2013, couldn't find a job. I was getting really depressed, really anxious. Came back home, came back here to visit because obviously I had no job. I could do whatever I want. And I had a friend who was cross-stitching while we were like kind of hanging out. And I was like asking her about it. I was like, hey, what's that about? What are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm cross-stitching. It helps with my anxiety because she was dealing with like some infertility issues. And so like her anxiety was through the roof. And I was like, oh, that looks like fun. I looked at it and I was like, I don't know if I want to do that specifically, but I remember the embroidery piece I got and have it at home. Maybe I could do that instead. So I went home, I bought a bunch of supplies. Well, I didn't know what I was doing. And this is back in 2013. There wasn't really this like renaissance happening that's, right now where there's a lot of like resources, a lot of books, a lot of YouTube options, e-courses, etc. So I have this vintage needlepoint book. It's like the guide to needlework. I think a lot of people have it. I think it's the Reader's Digest version. Oh, not the version, but version. But I used that to teach myself. And I just started like embroidering because I didn't really have anything else to do in my time because I couldn't find a job. And I luckily had really supportive friends who were kind of like, hey, would you make me a piece? I'll pay you. And I was like, oh, okay. So I started making commissions for people and I started designing my own things. And obviously this is June 2013. There wasn't many embroidery artists at the time doing what I was doing, at least not on, like, the physical presence wasn't online. Obviously, there's been a lot of resources for embroidery since, like, forever, but, like, this modern take on it I hadn't really seen on there. So, obviously, my following grew really fast, very quickly. I was very overwhelmed, but I never, like, because I had so many orders, like, I was like, what is happening? So I was very lucky for the success that I got so quickly. However, it got a little ridiculous, but I always tend to look at it as like, yeah, this bad thing happened. I lost my job. It was a train wreck. It sucked. But then like now, like I look back at it, I'm like, that thing happened and it led to this. So sometimes, you gotta look at it as like, a bad thing can lead to a good thing, Anyway, so that's my background. So no, I didn't really have like a fiber arts degree or like a textile degree from anywhere. I wish I did. Oh my God. If I had like, people in my life as I was growing up telling me like, hey, you can be an artist instead of art will get you nowhere. Literally words spoken to me. You shouldn't do art. You shouldn't pursue art. There's no money there because apparently money is the most important thing. If I had supportive people encouraging that, I think I would have studied art, painting, drawing. I love all of it. But I had a very big dislike of it because of people who didn't support me back then. So luckily I have people now who support, so yay. So if you're always starting, someone called me in the middle. Ah! I gotta turn this off. Hi, is the screen blurry? I think I need to fix it. Hold on 1 second, it's bothering me. Let me just clean it off with my shirt real quick. Is that better? I feel like it was a little, no, maybe it's just the lighting in here. Is that better? Nah, it looks the same. Never mind. Okay, yeah, someone called me. That was funny. Hi, okay. Right on. So that was that question. What is my background? So if anyone's like, art won't take you anywhere, you can't do anything with art, what you need to do is be like, I have a story, whatever that story is. Everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own journey. And some people out there have something very similar. So why not use art to tell that story, to connect with other people? And you never know, it may become your job. So you don't know. Like, I didn't know. I just kind of was like, I need something to do before I go out of my mind. Oh, what does my shirt mean? Acid Rap? Chance the Rapper. It's one of the Chance the Rapper's first mixtapes. So I'm a big Chance the Rapper fan. That's what it means. Okay. Question 2. How does my background help me in my embroidery business? So, like I said, I have an English and theater degree, you know, $60K in debt for that. Woo! As John Mulaney said, I paid someone $60,000 to tell me to go read Jane Austen, and then I didn't. Actually, fun fact, I did read Jane Austen. I love her. She is a bad bitch. I love her so much. Anyways, so how does my English and my theater degree help me in my business? Well, obviously with any type of business, you have a lot of communication you got to deal with. So I do a lot of writing. I do a lot of like writing captions, writing listings, writing blog posts, writing, you know, so that does help being able to communicate properly what I want to say. But the theater degree also helps too, because I have a YouTube channel. It helps me have more confidence in regards to like my internet presence or my presence, you know, on videos, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So those do help my business a lot. I definitely am blessed to have gone to that school in general, because like, although I wish I would have studied something more that would, you know, help my career, I became such a better person by like getting out of my little bubble and going away and going to college and seeing new people and learning and growing as a person. So definitely if you can't, you know, go to college, or you can't, like, obviously it's super expensive, but being able to like make sure that your experience, like, you go out and see the world somehow. Even if it's like, okay, what's the biggest the biggest city near me? I'm gonna go there for a weekend, just like explore and see the world. Because when you're stuck in this little bubble, you're gonna think that this way of thinking is the only way of thinking, and it's not. And it's always good to like go out, see the world, meet new people, that kind of fun stuff. Okay. Someone asked how many tattoos do I have, real quick. I have 4. I have this one here. This is Conquer. I got this one 2014, into 2014, early 2015, because that was when I decided that I was going to work on my mental health. I was going to conquer my depression and anxiety, and I was going to figure out what was wrong. January 2015 is when I stopped drinking and started working towards my mental health journey. So this was like a reminder, like, I'm going to conquer it. I'm going to own it, that kind of thing. This is my other tattoo. I got it 2018, October. It's floral, Southern Illinois wildflowers, and there's a little hand with a needle. It's so cute. I want to get a matching one over here. I've got 2 tattoos. One on my feet. I have one on my right foot that says, it's cursive hand lettering, and it says Love Loud. And Love Loud is a line from one of my favorite songs by Mates of State. So if you're not a fan of Mates of State, you should be. They're amazing. And one of their song is Love Loud, Don't Lose Loud. And so like the idea of just loving unconditionally, loving fully, you know, to those around you, yourself included. So that kind of like is that reminder. And then I have another tattoo I got at a bachelorette party. It feels like a weird symbol, supposed to mean like sisters forever, but I don't talk to any of those people anymore. So it's kind of like one of those, oopsie. But it was my first tattoo. No, wait, no, it wasn't. It was my second tattoo. Note to self, don't get tattoos on bachelorette parties. I think I'm gonna cover it up, but like, I don't know how. It's on the inside of my ankle and it's so small, like I might not do anything. So we'll see. Okay, so that's my tattoos. Hi, Cassie. Hi, Moose Gal. Glad you guys are here watching. What is your favorite thing about running the Patreon community? Good question, good question. So my favorite thing about running the Patreon community is having a space that I know when I go there, people are looking forward to hearing from me, talking to me, learning from me. Social media has become just like a party pooper. You know, you go to it, you post your stuff, and like no one sees it, no one engages, and you're like, does anyone even like care anymore? And so just knowing that when I go into my Patreon community, I know when I go there, I'm gonna be hanging out with people that have similar interests, that are literally looking forward to like getting to know me, looking forward to learning from me, and just having that validation, I guess. Because I'm a validation, like, I crave it. I know I shouldn't, but I do. And being able to go there and hang out with all my friends, because y'all are my friends now, is a lot of fun. So I think that's my favorite thing. Also, I love learning with my patrons. So I get questions all the time, like, how do I do this stitch? Or could you help me like continue this stitch? Or maybe, I don't know how to do this historical bodice stitching stuff. I got asked recently and I was just like, I have no idea. Let's find out. Like the idea that, you know, you can grow, you can learn with your patrons. You're not just there like spouting out information, you know? Like I don't want to just be there just to be like a mouthpiece for like, well, you know, when you could, obviously you can Google a lot of the stuff that I'm saying if you wanted to, but being able to like go, hey, you know what? I'm gonna learn that stitch for you and I'm gonna figure out a solution, which I did literally 2 days ago for a patron. She had a question about a stitch I wasn't familiar with, but I learned it, I figured out a solution for her, and being able to do that for people is really cool. I feel like sometimes I get stuck in a rut creatively, and things like that can really cause me to step out of that boundary, you know, step out of that little bubble. Like I said, step out of your bubble, do new things. And so that's really cool for me to do that. So I do appreciate that. I'm trying to think what else. Also, it's good having that accountability. Like I say, hey, I'm gonna go live every day. And then I don't, and people are like, you're not here, you're supposed to be. So being able to like have that accountability, and people who I know will like, also having people who like are also understanding, like things happen, you know, everyone has their own lives, and being like, hey Kristen, you don't have to go live today, we totally understand. It's like, oh my God, I love you guys so much. And yes, oh, thank you, you love it? I'm going back on Tuesday? Going back on Tuesday. I don't know what I want to get yet. Maybe I should do a poll. We'll see. All right, so there's that question. Next question, is it easy to be involved in the community if you don't live in the US? Yes. So I currently have a few patrons that are not in the US. I have one in Ireland. I have one in India and Bosnia, I think. So yeah, and I think one in Canada too, or a few in Canada. So basically you don't have to be a US person to be here. And that's the coolest part about this community, is that my old pattern program, which I'll explain my Patreon tiers a little bit later, but my pattern program is like the main focus. And the reason why I want to do that on Patreon is because not only does it make it easier for me to post my patterns every month, because before I had to like keep track of like who had each tier, I had to keep track of when their months were out, I had to keep track of, it was just like a pain. I had to send out separate emails. And it was always so much work every month, but now all I have to do is just go into Patreon and post the pattern. Like that's it. And it goes right to all the people that are in that tier. I don't have to email anybody. And then when people like stop being a patron, I don't have to make sure, like, it's really great to pay things monthly. At least I feel that way. In the past, it was like, here, you're gonna pay for 3 months, you're gonna pay for 7 months, you're gonna pay for a year. You know, like that idea is just like, that was just frustrating. I didn't like it. Also, what's really cool is you get that community. So before it was like, here's your pattern, good luck. And like, you didn't get to stitch it with me throughout the month. You didn't get to like, you know, show your progress. You didn't get to make friends in the server. Like being able to have that community is just so important to me. And I'm so glad that we've been doing that, and I really enjoy it. So for me, I like being able to do that, and you don't have to be in the US for that to happen, which is pretty cool. All right. I'm a total newbie to embroidery, but want to learn more. Is becoming a patron a good way to learn and improve my skills? I want to say yes. I mean, I'm biased. It is my Patreon. But if you ask any of the people who are my patrons, they will say that they're learning and they're growing and they're having fun and they're making friends. And for me, I don't know about you, but as an adult, it's so hard to make friends. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm very extroverted. I have no problem making friends. It's just like, when am I gonna get into a situation? Whoa, that light just changed. Oh, that was fun. Anyways, when am I gonna get in a situation to make new friends? Like, yeah, I've made friends at my church, and I've made some mom friends with my kids at school, but like, I don't go out to bars and drink to meet people. Like, I don't know how you would do it. So being able to like find, oh, I like this artist. Oh my God, she has an online community where I can like hang out with her every day or make new friends. And like, because internet friends are friends. They're like, my friends, my patron over in Ireland, like, we're friends. Like, that's not just gonna be like, if anyone tells you internet friends aren't real, you can just tell them to stick it. Like, you know, because it's true. It doesn't matter where you are. And the so cool thing about the internet is that it gives you the opportunity to make friends with people you never would be able to see. Like, I would never be able, like, I've never been to overseas. I've never been out of the country, except for last year we went to Canada. Does that really count? I mean, it's the same continent. I've never been across an ocean, okay? So, like, to be able to be friends with people who I've never met is so cool. And so, yeah, like, what was my point? What was I talking about? Sorry, ADHD, I got distracted. Making friends, across the pond, becoming a patron of, oh yeah, so, I don't know what I was talking about. Ah, this sucks, I always do this. Cassie, help me, what was I talking about? Oh, she retracted her message. Oh no, okay. Oh yeah, what you can learn, yes, okay. So 2 days ago, sorry everyone, ADHD, what are you gonna do? Can you learn? So I've had people join the Patreon who have never done embroidery before. Then you have people who have joined who have done embroidery before, but like a different type of embroidery. Like, they've been doing, like, they've been embroidering for 20 years and they just kind of like want a community. So it's for all types of skills. You don't have to worry about coming in and being like, oh my God, everyone here's a really good embroiderer. Or everybody, you come in, you're advanced, and you're like, everybody here's a newbie. Like, there's no competition. Everyone is on their different stitch venture. Wish I could have like a little like word to come up, like stitch venture. Maybe one day I'll get the technology. My husband could probably do it, but he's not here, obviously. So, yeah. So, yeah. Let's see. So it's a good way. You learn every month. I try to do something new with the patterns. We've been doing a lot of floral patterns this year. And so this month I wanted it to make simpler because I felt like it'd be good to kind of like give a little bit of, you know, a break from all the floral embroidery. So we just have this cute little guy here. And so it's simple. Anybody can do this one. This is like one stitch, you know, just words and picking colors. So I try to keep them pretty simple. I only use like 7 stitches. In all of my work, 7 to 10. So it's not like you're gonna be like, oh, here's a new pattern. Oh, there's 20 stitches I gotta try to figure out. You'll know that when you get one of my patterns, I'm probably gonna be using the same stitches you've already learned. And so if you're learning with me and you can master those stitches, then it's gonna be so much more fun every month when you get your patterns. You're like, okay, cool. It's gonna be like coloring with thread. You know, you get a coloring book and you're like coloring it and you're like, yeah, it's so much fun. It's a good way for me to relax, a good way to me connect with other people, that kind of thing. So I think it's great to learn. Like I said 2 days ago, I learned something. I learned how to do a braided chain stitch. And the fact that I'm still learning with you guys is just so great. And I think that it's brilliant and I love it. Are your patterns suitable for beginners? I kind of just like covered that kind of. Yeah, they are. So like I said before, I only use like 7 stitches, 7 to 10. I know I've gotten a lot of a lot of crap for that over the years. People are like, oh my God, your embroidery is so basic. All you're doing is sad stitch, like do something else. But to me, maybe it's just because who I am. I've got ADHD, I've got anxiety. Like, I can't focus on something if there's gonna be too many rules, if there's gonna be too many steps, if it's gonna like frustrate me or I'm gonna like quit. So for me, mastering just this little bit makes it more attainable, like makes it easier for me to do. And so it'll be easier for those who also can relate to that. And obviously, if it's like too simple for you, you can go find another embroidery pattern. Like there's tons of embroidery patterns out there. It's not like mine are gonna be the only ones you're gonna stitch. Like I make the ones that I make. Some of them are really detailed. Some of them are a little more difficult, but most of them are going to be simple once you master that certain set of embroidery stitches that I use. Like I said, this one is amazing. So yeah, this is this month's pattern and I love it. Hi, Michelle. I think someone asked me who are some of my favorite embroidery designers. It would be Stitching Sabbatical. She's one of them. She's right here in the chat. She's the best. Real quick, I'll answer the rest of that. I'm trying to think. I really like I can't think of it when it's not in front of me. Oh, I got my iPad. Let me just go to Instagram. Hold on. Let me go see who I'm following first. Hold on. Let's see. Ooh, shaking. Oh, you're the best, Michelle. Shut up. You're the best. You're better. I love you. Some of my best embroidery designers. Sarah K. Benning, obviously. Sarah and I have been like super good friends for like years now. And I just love her work. I love her work ethic. She just is like go, 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 go. And part of me is like hoping that since my kids are in school now full time, I'll be able to get a lot more done because like I said, I've got ADHD. And when you've got kids constantly like interrupting a flow, constantly like asking questions or wanting to take up your time, you're constant. Now I have a dog too, so I've been like wondering like what's the dog doing, and like for me it's like I can't focus. Like I'm the kind of person that needs to get in a zone, okay? And I need to have time to get work done or I just don't get anything done. So being able to have this time where I'm able to just create freely, knock off things on my to-do list. I'm really hoping that my work ethic can just like go through the roof like Sarah's because she's amazing. Okay, another person, yes, Stitch, yes, Lauren, she's kind of not really been around lately, but her work is always great. Be Good Natured, she's not an embroidery artist, she's a needle felter, but I love her work. She's like, I'm lucky to call her friend. I've actually in person got to see her. I got to take her workshop twice. And so just seeing her work is just like, how do you do the things that you do? If you don't know, how do you say, is it Higgy? Higgy, the H-Y-G-G-E, I don't know how to pronounce it. Higgy by Nicotina. If you don't follow her, her work is like mind-blowing, okay? Like, I can't even get to describe you. Like, I can't deal with it. She's so talented. She does not have enough recognition for her work. After this live stream, I'm just gonna post one of her photos in my feed on my stories because it's just amazing and I can't deal with her. I love her so much. Such good work. I love oh my golly embroidery, fembroidery, used threads. Tessa Perlow, obviously if you're not following her Instagram photos, Patrick Swayze. I'm dying. Anyways, her work, she also has another one of those that has great work ethic. Kel Ryan, Badass Cross Stitch, Emile Ferris, duh, her work is so good. I got a lot of people, so I have a lot of vibrant. If you want to know who my favorite ones are, go into my Instagram, go to see who I'm following, and that'll just be a list of people I enjoy, work that I enjoy to see. Okay. I also deal with mental issues. Oh, you were born in Chicago, cool. I love it there. I was there for 5 years and I miss it. I don't like having cars. I don't like having to drive to go to the grocery store. I love living in Chicago to be able to just like walk out of my house and be like, oh look, there's Dunkin' Donuts. Like being able to walk and just go. It's a lot more fun for me. Yes, okay. So question real quick about YouTube. Yes, okay. So the hubby and I are in this weird season right now where I can't say much, but things are going to be changing for us, not for Goulash Threads, but for what he's doing. And so right now we just don't have time. I'm supposed to be editing my vlogs. I have like 6 vlogs that I've filmed and haven't edited. I think that's going to be the next few videos that I upload. But we're in the process of figuring out the best way to do that. You know, I also like doing live streams, so maybe I could do some, like they won't be the great quality that he would film, but I could do videos that would be better you know, here. I mean, I can make that work. So if there's specific tutorials that you want me to do, I bet I could figure out a way to film them on my own and make it happen. So I'm gonna try. Like I said, the kids being in school is gonna help a lot. I'll have more time to film. It's just I need to learn how to edit better. That's all it comes down to. Once I become a better editor, then my husband just films it and goes, good luck, you know? So that's all on me. So fingers crossed I have more time, because when I have more time, I get better at editing, and then there's more videos. So there's a question there. Yes, I will be. Where do you live, Caitlin? I feel like I should know this. I feel like I don't know this. Oh, besides this channel, what are some embroidery? I'll wait for you to answer. Besides this channel, what are some embroidery resources for beginners? There's tons of resources. There's a lot of Instagram peeps that I follow and love. Namaste Embroidery, Hope Broidery, St. Pete, Florida. I had someone ask me to come to St. Pete, Florida, so maybe I will. Maybe I will. I'll put that on my list for next year. Tampa Bay area. Okay, maybe I'll go to Tampa. Just go to Tampa? Is that better? What's in Tampa? Where's Disney World? Is Disney World in... Oh, that's Orlando. Is that anywhere near Tampa? Nah, I don't know. I didn't really do well in geography. So don't hate me. Hate the game. I don't know. But yeah, embroidery resources. I have free patterns with DMC. I have 3 courses available. 2 with Brit & Co. and 1 with the Crafters Box. So the Crafters Box, I have like 4 different types of like kits and like, so you would take my online course and then you'd have a bunch of other options too. I am in the process of speaking to the hubby. We got to plan it, we got to figure it out, but we're wanting to get together and make e-courses. That's something I really want to focus on too. So we're in the process of like figuring that all out. Like I said, once those changes happen that are going to happen, we'll either have more time or we won't. So we really don't know. Like I said, we're in that really weird season of like, what's going to happen next? What are we going to do? So patience. Oh, a good resource would be my Patreon. I mean, come on. It's a good resource, right? Also my book. Yes. My book is a great resource. You know, it has all the, it has a like photo, like step-by-step for the embroidery stitches. It has 200 plants and flowers, patterns, 10 projects. It's a good way to kind of get started and like the type of embroidery I like to do. But yeah, so those are some pretty good resources. There's obviously YouTube channels. There obviously is Instagram. There's a lot of options you can go. Honestly, Google's your friend. So Google that and you'll be able to be set. Cool. Okay, so those are all those questions. Let's get back to the questions that were on here because I want to make sure I cover everything. What if I'm not ever available to watch your live videos during the day? That's a good question. So a lot of people are like, oh, she does live streams. That's not really going to be much help to me because I work all day. I can't watch her live streams. And so what's really cool about doing my live streams, not on Instagram, so I used to go live every day on Instagram, and that was great because it did help with my engagement and all that, but what really sucks about that is it's gone in 24 hours. There's no way to rewatch it. Plus, if I were to save it, like, you know how difficult it is to save an hour live stream on your phone every day and then upload it somewhere, and like it's a pain. So what's really cool about Patreon is I can come in there, I do my live stream, I link it on Patreon, and I archive it. So I have it like a tagging system that shows you like my live stream archive. You can click it and literally just scroll through every live stream I've ever done. And you have like, it's got photos, like the thumbnail, it has a description and, you know, so you can see. And obviously, I want to work on making a better archive. Like if you're wanting to know like what archive is going to have some tutorials in it, what archive, you know, what videos are going to have Q&As, that kind of thing. That obviously takes a lot more time, you know, to do all of that. And right now I don't have anyone helping me do anything. So maybe one day I'll be like, okay, Kristen, it's time to bite the bullet. You got to hire somebody to help you. So maybe one day I will. We'll see. It all comes down to how I can manage my mental health. Like I said, today is an example of what my life will be once my kids are in full time, which starts on Monday. Today is a half day for my son. Tomorrow he does not have school, and my daughter does. And then Monday it is go time. So I'm like really looking forward to that. I know I'm really sad, you know, because he's in kindergarten, but then the kind of person that really needs like set like lengths of time to do things and get them done. So I'm really excited for that. Oh yeah, I wish I could meet all of my Instagram friends in real life. Like that's a dream. I have met them. So that's a really cool thing that I try to do is I try to plan my workshops in cities where I know a friend might be. So like if I have a friend in New York, like I'm going to New York next weekend. Holy moly, my first time to New York to teach. And I've got like 3 friends there I think I'm looking forward to seeing. So like just having that as a blessing. I get to meet a lot of them because, you know, but honestly, even if you never get to meet them in real life, like they're still your friends. Doesn't matter if you can't see them, Skype them. Be like, hey, let's Skype, let's, you know, FaceTime. It's still kind of the same thing. You know, maybe one day you will. Maybe one day I'll go to Ireland and I'll see my patron there and it'll be great. Maybe. You want me to come, Vicki? I'll come. Okay, Caitlin. Here's the thing with that. Pattern making, okay? I'm developing a class for that. I'm teaching that class in November. Hello, 401 from, okay, I'll cover that in a second, Moose. What's your actual name? I don't want to call you Moose Gal. I guess I'll call you Moose Gal. I don't know. I'm developing the class for pattern making, okay? Once that class is done, I mean, obviously, I got to do a few practice runs before the workshop in November. The goal is I want to turn that into an e-course. So it's coming. We're looking, I mean, if we take our Christmas break, my husband and I just film it, we might be able to get it done by the early January 2020. So I'm looking to get that e-course done. Now, if you're a patron, you get a discount, which is pretty cool. So definitely want to become a patron at least by 2020. I mean, sooner would be better, but you know, what are you gonna do? And now, Musco, time for your question. We've already filmed this video. We've filmed the 411. We filmed that video. It just needs to be edited. Like, I'm not even kidding. That was the last video we filmed. It was like, the hubby was like, let's go, tell me everything about embroidery. And I cover materials, I cover resources, I cover transfer methods, I cover pretty much anything and everything that you would need. Granted, some of it, I said, I would show you all of these, but I'm gonna do a video later about it. And obviously we haven't been able to do that. So the 411 is kind of like an intro, and then the goal is to create videos to be like, which we then can link in that intro video, be like, oh, you wanna learn this? Click here. Like, you wanna do that? Go there, like that kind of thing. So that's filmed. We just have to edit it. So maybe, I don't know when my husband could do it. He's so busy and I don't know how. Maybe we can have a friend do it. I just make someone, pay someone, be like, hey, will you edit these videos for me? How much will it cost? I don't know. All right. Yeah, no, pattern making is tough. It really is. But once you get like the idea of what you want to do, it becomes simple. So like I said, I'm making a pattern making class, doing a pattern making class in November. Fingers crossed, e-course in 2020. So go for that. Now, next question. What advantages are there to being a patron instead of just following you or purchasing patterns? Okay, so the cool thing about being a patron, you get to support me, which is great. I mean, look at me. Don't you want to support this? Hi. But the best thing about it is, for instance, I was doing a market in St. Louis, you know, selling things, and I had someone come up to me with embroidery hoop, and I'm like, hi, you took one of my workshops, right? She's like, yeah, I took a workshop, you know, a few months ago, and I'm working on this piece, and I can't seem to figure out what stitch to do here. I'm like, you came all the way here to do that? She's like, yeah, I mean, well, how else would I do it? And I was like, you know, I have a Patreon where you could just like take a photo and literally text me. It would literally just message me, and I'd be like, oh, here's what you can do. Like, the idea of, you know, having, was it Quickline? No, Lifeline? like being able to like, oh, I need help with this. Kristen will help me out. And it's not just embroidery related. You know, in our Stitch Venture server, we have a thread about mental health. We have a thread about parenting. Now we have one about pets because I have a doggo. Like, being able to, when you're having a bad week, tune into the server and be like, hey friends, I'm having a bad week. Would you pray for me? Or like, you know, send me good vibes. Or, you know, that kind of thing. Like, having a community of people working together is just so great. So that's what you get there. Plus, I told myself this year, Kristen, you gotta stop doing work for free. So when people ask me questions, like in a DM, like DM me and like, hey, I have a question about this, I just go, thanks for the question. You should become a patron and I'll be able to assist you there. The idea being, I don't give away all this years of knowledge away for free. And I think that a lot of people understand that and they're appreciative of my stance on that. You know, because I know a lot of people are like, why are you being so selfish? Give it away for free. It's like, I got to make money somehow. You know, I got to support my family somehow. So that's what I like about Patreon, is I'm able to do that easier than it was. Because obviously being an artist is hard. Every month you're like, am I going to have the money? Am I going to have the money that I need? It's all kind of up in the air. And being able to be like, I got my Patreon, that's always a good thing for my anxiety, at least every month. So anyways, I think you get more benefit being a patron. Like I said, I'm kind of biased on that, but some of my patrons are here. They can comment in the comments and be like, yeah, it's great, it's awesome, blah, blah. Whatever for that. Okay, next question. Will I fit into our community if I am a complete and total newbie? Yes, you will fit in so well, because then we all can help you. Like, I'm not, like, if I've had people call me selfish, but the thing is, like, I'm not being selfish. Like, I'm giving you access to me 24/7. I'm giving you access to friends you can meet, hang out with. You're getting patterns. You're getting free patterns too. You're getting free tutorials. Like, it's a lot of fun. And so don't think of it as, you know, this secret club you gotta join. Think of it as like, oh, I get to jump head first into this community of people who are going to help me become a better person, a better artist, better business person, you know, that kind of thing. So don't think of it like it's not an exclusive club. We want everybody in, regardless of your journey. Like, even if you don't even do embroidery. Like, I don't have time to embroider, but I want to hang out with people. Great place to start. Oh, thanks, Francesca. You're so sweet. Oh, Cassie, I love you guys. Ah, my heart explode. Okay. Are we able to ask questions about our works in progress if we get stuck? I literally think I just said this, but yes, you can. I've had people, not people. Who was it? It was Gaia. I can't pronounce. I think it's Gaia. She came in and was like, the braided chain stitch. She's like, help me. I don't know. Her issue was she was stitching and her thread ran out and she couldn't find a way. Like, she was looking at tutorials and stuff and couldn't find a way to like continue the stitch with new thread. And so I was like, all right, you know, here we go. I'm gonna learn this stitch and we're gonna figure it out. And like having like somebody there to help you, like you're like, I'm your friend, like I'm your bestie, like let's be friends, like that kind of thing. So yeah, it's good. Ask me anything. Obviously, if you ask me something about like watercolor painting, I'm gonna be like, what? Because like I'm not an expert in that. But I can learn with you, and that's always fun. I'm actually doing a crafter's box video soon with watercolor, so I gotta learn somehow. So it's gonna be fun, or not. Could be the worst. Okay. Do your patrons talk to each other? Yes, they do. Constantly. Like, if I'm not there, like if I'm too busy to like communicate in the server, like if you talk in there, people are there too. Like, we were talking the other day in the mental health forum, we were talking about toxic, not toxic, but like our struggles with our own parents, and like, you know, lack of boundaries with them and blah, blah, blah. So like having us come in there and be like, hey guys, I got a vent. And just like, some people cannot afford therapy. Some people are unable to go to therapy because they have people in their life who are like, therapy is bad. And you're like, but I need it. There are some people who have mental health issues and don't feel comfortable talking about it with anyone. And being able to have a space where you can come in and be like, I think I have depression. And we're like, talk to us. What's up? Like, knowing that's a safe space for everyone and like, I don't tolerate hate. I don't tolerate prejudice. I don't tolerate like any of that crap. You come in here and you're rude or you're like, it ain't happening. So knowing that people have a safe space to talk about stuff, that to me is so important. So yeah, I do encourage everyone to talk to each other. Make friends, that's the point. Yeah. So, okay. Is your Patreon community about embroidery only? Obviously not, because we do more than that. I want to incorporate more fiber art methods like punch needle and needle felting. Obviously that's really far down the road because that takes a lot of planning and that takes a lot of resources, and I'd have to make a lot of tutorials for that. So for me right now, it's having to stay mostly embroidery in regards to the things that I'm doing and teaching. However, anyone's encouraged to join. Like, do you knit? Do you crochet? Like, it's not, like I said, it's not an exclusive embroidery club. It's like anybody can join in if they want to. So, what is the commitment like? If I run into financial issues, could I join again later? Yes, I've had patrons who were patrons for like 3 months and they're like, hey, I have to drop out for this month. I'll be back. I've also had people change their tiers. Like, I ran a promo in June where if you were a patron and you upgraded to the $50 tier, you'd get like a little coaching session with me. So I know people upgraded for that, and then once the month was over, they went back down. Like, that's the cool thing about Patreon. Like, unlike buying set, you know, like here's 3 months and I got those 3 months and I can't bow out if I need to. You can be like, okay, I'm good. Oh no, next month's looking like it's not going to be so great. Hey, Kristen, I'm going to just have to you know, see you later for 2 months and I'll be back. Like, that's totally fine. Like, don't think that I'm going to be upset if you have to. That's the whole idea about it. Is like this, you do this when you can or if you can't. You know, it's not like you're set for life. And Patreon makes it easy. You just go in, you can go right into who you're following, and you can just edit it right away. It's super simple. I got a question here. Do you ever give a heads up on when you're going live on Patreon? Oh, Caitlin, so here's the deal. Obviously, this summer has been a train wreck. With kids, it's impossible to know like what they're going to be like. You know, I bet all of you who have kids at home during the summer know exactly what I'm talking about. By the end of the summer, you're like, go back to school. Yesterday, I was like, one more day. I was like, one day more, you know, almost there. So, yeah, my goal is I want to go live every day, 9 a.m. Central Time. Obviously, today I was late because I had some issues setting up. Because usually my lives are not this. Usually they're my hands stitching or showing a tutorial or working on something. So usually they're not this. So this I had to like figure out what I was doing. So yeah, my goal is 9 a.m. Central Time. So I can let you know too. Like if I know that I'm gonna have an appointment, like I say, oh, I've got a nail appointment at this time on Tuesday, so I'll be going live at 1 p.m. instead of 9 a.m. Like I'll definitely trying to get better at that because I know that a lot of people rely on that. So that's the whole thing with me. I'm really bad at time management, and honestly, I'm starting to realize that it's because of my mental illnesses and trying to show myself some more grace, but trying to get better at sticking to a schedule. That really seems to help me. So. Oh, I have serious FOMO. Ooh, don't want that. Okay, what's the difference between a $3 tier and a $10 tier? That's a good question because a lot of people don't know the answer to that. So the $3 tier is like your basic intro tier. With that, you know what? I'm just going to pull up the tiers and read them to you. So the $3 tier is your intro tier. It used to be $1. But then I had too many tiers. I had like 6 tiers, and it was really confusing. And now I have like 4, and it's so much easier. Because people can be like, because a lot of people don't really do well when you have a lot of options. They really don't. So being able to be like, here's the 4 tiers, here's what you can get. It really is great. So the $3 tier, you obviously get access to my daily live streams. You get access to the Stitch Venture server. So if you've never really been much into embroidery, don't think you ever are going to embroider, but you kind of want to like hang out with me every day, or you want to support me in some small way, like the $3 tier is a good way to start. You also get a really cool, fun floral embroidery pattern. Like usually I charge $18 on my website for patterns, and if you're a patron, you get patterns for $10 on the $10 tier, but just by becoming a patron, you get a nice little free embroidery pattern, so that's pretty cool. You get access to my Patreon feed, which shows a lot of behind the scenes, shows updates, all the fun stuff that pops up on my Patreon, as well as like polls, kind of thing. Also, we do our gift swap every year. We're currently in the process of our gift swap. We just matched up all of our people. And so what that does is, like, I love giving gifts. I love that kind of thing. And being able to coordinate those gift swaps with my friends is just a lot of fun. So that gives you access to that. I think that's everything you get in the $3 tier, which is a lot. My husband was like, you're giving way too much away. I was like, well, I want to give gifts, so I'm going to give my gifts to everyone. The $10 tier, so you get everything in the $3 tier, which is the, you know, all the Stitch Venture server, live streams. Then you get access to, basically the $10 tier is like your Stitch Venture tier. It's like, here's my pattern program. Like that's the major focus there. So what it does is you get the pattern of the month. Obviously that varies depending on the month. You also get access to specific Stitch Venture live streams. So I don't just give you a pattern and say good luck. I film live streams throughout the month to kind of walk you through the pattern. And those also get archived in this, like a specific tag too. And what's really cool is, let's say you become a patron, but you're like, man, I really want February's pattern, but she's not gonna do any live streams for that. Oh wait, she already did. So what you'll do is you will use, because you also get a promo code. So here's the one thing people don't understand when they become patrons right away. And I guess I want to clarify it here because this is the kind of video I want my patrons to watch. Obviously a really long video. But when you become a patron, you become a patron for the month you're paying for. So for instance, let's say it's May and you're like, oh, I'm a patron now, I want April's pattern. Well, you weren't a patron during April, so you don't get that pattern when becoming a patron, because if that was the case, then you could just become a patron in December and then get 12 months of patterns for $10. So the goal for that is, here is a coupon code I can give you to make my patterns in my shop go to the $10. So it would be like you were a patron back then. Then you'd still have access to the videos that I shot. You'd have access, so like you buy the pattern and then you'd be able to go into the feed and be able to, oh, here's the videos for February's pattern, that kind of thing. So you have the archive for that, which is really cool. So basically that's it. You get the pattern, the live streams, and then the promo code to get discounted patterns. And that promo code never expires, and you can use it multiple times over. So it's not like one and done, you know. And since we're on this kick, I'm going to explain the rest of the tiers. So the $50 tier, that comes with a kit every month of the pattern. So like you get all the materials needed to create your own version of the pattern for the month. You also get a one-on-one video coaching session with me. Those are 30 minutes long, and they can be about anything. You can be like, I want to focus on my Sorry, I'm yawning. I'm so tired. Okay, but I only got like 5 hours of sleep last night. So for instance, let's say that you're like, okay, I really want to focus on my Instagram presence. That's what we'll talk about for half an hour. And I have like a whole form you fill out, so that way like you don't just pop in there and have to explain everything and waste time. It's like, I know what you want. We'll get as much done as possible. And the goal for that is to like help share that knowledge, but like kind of give a more one-on-one time versus being kind of like in this group setting. And you get some fun end of credit shout outs on my YouTube videos when I film them. We're in the process, okay? We'll figure it out. Then the $100 tier, one more yawn. I'm so tired. Break. Okay. The $100 tier That is like my mentorship tier. So I've been working with one mentee since January, and we've refined her Instagram presence. I'm helping her figure out her blog and her Etsy shop. She's been featured by DMC like 3 times since I've started working with her, which is super like validating for me. You always wonder, like, am I doing a good job? Are they, you know, growing? And then you look at that and you're like, yeah, they're doing pretty good. So yeah, there's that. We also are working, you also get a video collaboration, so you get to decide like, okay, Kristen, we're gonna put a video together. And it could be about anything. Like, you'd be like, I want to do a video about incorporating crochet and embroidery together. I'm not gonna crochet in the video, but like I can add embroidery to a crocheted item. Like, that's an example, obviously. So yeah, we get to work on it. You get like that producer credit, you know, like you helped write it, you helped figure out what we were gonna do with it, you helped finalize all the details, the music, blah, 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 which is pretty cool. You get moderator privileges in the Stitch Vendor server. Ooh, you fancy. And I follow you on Instagram and YouTube. All your social media, which is pretty cool. I become your bestie, even bestie. Cool. Yeah, so those are all my tiers. Like I said, I had like 6 tiers, and now I got 4. I kind of feel like I need to have less. I don't know, we'll see. Yeah, so there's that. So here's some... Sorry I'm yawning so much, guys. Goodness gracious. I've been up since 5. I'm just tired. Okay, when do you decide to outline stitches when making a pattern? That is a good question. So some of my embroidery patterns have where I outline like a flower first and then I fill it in. The way that I look at it is it's really hard for me to like have like a set of rules for that, because first of all, I don't like rules. So being like you have to do it here doesn't really work for me. I try to think of it as what kind of look am I wanting to get? What type of texture do I want to show? Like, here, be right back. I gotta go get it. Don't move. I'll get it. Watch out, Nebby. Watch out, Nebby. Here I come. Okay. So for instance, oh gosh, I can't see your, hold on, I can't see your questions. Okay, there we go. All right, that was weird. All right, I'm back. Now, for instance, on this plant lady piece, I didn't outline on that flower there, but I didn't like on that flower there. I think for this piece specifically, the main flower focus was going to be this. So when you outline it, you kind of give it that definition. And so the rest of it was just kind of like coming off this central flower. So I think that's why I chose to do that then on that piece, to like kind of outline it, give it more definition. And these are kind of like, oh, these are little accents that go on that main flower. So I guess like if you're wanting to figure out how to draw that pattern, you just kind of look at it and you go, what's the main focus here? Oh, this set of flowers over here, let's outline those. Because that kind of like draws the eye to it, you know? You don't really think about it that way, but like it does. Like I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, that center flower looks pretty freaking dope. That kind of thing. So, like I said, I don't have set rules for it. Best way I can explain it. Helpful. How do you put your kits together? Someone asked me about like, how do I figure out my kits? That all depends on your branding. That depends on what you're wanting to do with it. Like, obviously everyone's kit branding is different. How people do their kits is different. Some people ship them just like the items free in a, you know, the box with the tissue paper or whatever. Some people have like the, you know, cellophane, like little like things they put them in. It all depends. You just kind of mess with it. My kits have changed 3 times, I think, since I started doing kits. Ow, ooh, that hurt. Right now my kits, I'm trying to make them all plastic free. So they come in these cute little pink drawstring like bags, which is pretty cool. I still have to find time to design the branding for that. That's another thing. What are you gonna do? I would say with your pattern, your kit, what you're wanting to have in there, obviously with those items, what you need to figure out then is how do you want to display those items? Like how do you want your customer to, what experience do you want your customer to have when they open up your kit? Do you want them to open it up and they're like, there's something else in here to open? Kind of like how I am right now, because I'm just like, they come in the plastic, you know, they come in the bags, but I wanted to make my kits so they could be sold in stores. Like, in brick and mortar stores and stuff, so that way they wouldn't just be like, oh, you have to get this box. So that's what you want to do with that. Like figure out like how do I want, figure out your branding, figure out your presence first, and then you'll be able to take that and adapt it to your packaging, your kits, that kind of thing. But yeah, it also comes down to like what time do you have? Like I don't have time. Like some people will take their little thread and they'll wind it and make it on cute little like cards hanging down. I used to do that, but I didn't have time. So now for my kits, it's like, oh, you need thread? Here's a skein of thread. And like I put it and like I wrap it like, because I don't have time, you know, for me, time is money, you know. So yeah. I think that's my last question. Does anyone have any more questions? Actually, we're at an hour. I did it. Whoa. Under an hour. Right, Nebby? Woo! Nebby's just over there sleeping. All right. Does anyone have any more questions? This is a lot of fun. Did you learn something? Did you learn something? I hope you did. But yeah, I do need to go. Gotta get my son in an hour. So I'm filming a video today for something else, so I kind of need to go get that ready. But yeah, I'm glad you guys tuned in. I hope this was informative. I think I was gonna say one more thing. No, I can't remember what it is. What are you gonna do? But this was fun. I very much appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate your questions. Yeah, I appreciate your patience because it started late. Yeah, so I'm gonna go through the live stream and figure out all my talking points, and I'm gonna put that in the description for those who are like the timestamps of like, here's where this is, here's where this is. So if people need to go back and look at it, they can. But I appreciate you watching and appreciate you following. If you have any more questions about Patreon, like what Patreon is, like how you can join, just shoot me a message or an email and we can talk it through. But I definitely appreciate all of you, patrons and everyone else included. Cool beans. I'll see you guys, especially my patrons. I'll see you tomorrow in our daily live stream. Thanks, guys.